City Ambassador Renee Tirico.
Good evening, everyone! Welcome. I hope you were enjoying your time here at the Disneyland Park. Did everybody have a good time watching the parade? Man, it doesn't get any better. I love the drum line at the beginning. See, that's my favorite part. I love it. Well, tonight you are in for a special treat. We have the creative genius behind Mickey Soundsational Parade, and I say genius. On my card it says individuals. I say genius. I love it. So they're going to be here. We're going to have a quick panel discussion. If you have any questions you'd like to ask, please think of those, because after our panel discussion we will actually have a moment for you to ask some questions. So, without further ado, I don't want to get any of this wrong because this is so great. I'm going to introduce Senior Show Director John Addis. We also have Art Directors Jody Daily and Kevin Kidney. This is my favorite here. And Vice President of Parades and Spectaculars, Stephen Davison.
So, what do you want to talk about? I don't know. How'd everybody like the parade? It's really special to see it at night. We were just talking about that as we were watching it. I don't think we really haven't seen it since we were in rehearsals. And the thing about rehearsing at Disneyland is that we can only rehearse at night. So when the park is closed. So the last time we did that was back in May sometime, I think. So
yeah, it's pretty crazy because even back in May all the lights weren't finished. So because we knew we didn't need them until the fall. So Caitlin, who did all the lighting for the parade, kept working on it every week, literally until we got into the fall. And it's so beautiful at night. I love to see parades at night. They just have a whole different quality. Because what happens in the day is that you're competing with everything around you. And at night, everything gets wiped clean because everything turns dark, and then we can just light the parade, and it's all like a new shiny toy.
Looks great.
So Stephen, tell me, what was your inspiration for this parade?
Music?
Sound?
Sound. We actually did 7 different concepts for the new Disneyland parade, and we kept looking at different ones. Did we want to do a single story parade? We looked at a entirely Mickey-based parade. We also looked at a Princess and the Frog parade that was complete from beginning to end. And then we started to get into this music thing. Another director that I work with was working with Drumline, and they were doing the national tour of Drumline. And I'm like, wow, I'd forgotten how exciting it was to have live musicians. And so we started in on this whole live musician thing, which finally led to, let's do a whole parade about music. Because so much of everything that we do for the parades is all music. It's really music based. And voila, Soundsational was born.
So guys, when Stephen came to you, what did he tell you when he first came to you? How did he approach you?
Actually, I think all that you told us was that you had already picked a name. It was going to be Soundsational, and that it was based on Disney music, and that Mickey was going to play the drums, right? I think that was it. That was it.
Well, and these two are geniuses. I mean, we worked together for a long time, at least 2 years. But what's great is just Kevin and Jody bring a really great spirit to parades. I mean, we all grew up at Disney, we know parades really well, and it just has this beautiful quality about it. And what's great is you just kind of come to them with crazy ideas, and then they just start sketching. And half the time, you get this, like in my inbox, it's great when you get a Kevin and Jody email, like, hey, look at this. And you get these cute, wonderful things to look at that are really fun. I mean, it makes you smile. That's what I love about it. The parades that they design really make you smile.
Oh, thanks.
What did you base the floats on, though? Was there a certain concept for the look or the design of them?
Yeah, I think, well, we were trying to do something different, and we had talked about doing floats that were a little more lyrical, a lot more negative space, open, more delicate, not so heavy fiberglass. So we were trying to do something that looked like it was made out of paper. And I do a lot of paper sculpture in my own art, and so thank you. And so we suggested that to Steven, and Steven said, yeah, let's see if we can make a lot of the parade look like it was made out of paper.
So we get stuff like this, which is fun. So this is from the Mary Poppins unit, and it truly is all made out of paper.
Yeah.
It's really a fun concept, and we really started to push this. The trick was, like even on these, is how do you make this 10 feet tall and keep it structural? And it took a long time. Tom and Productions did all the kind of paper art for the parade, and it took a long time. Every week it's like, how's the paper coming to
Well, they made everything out of things, obviously not paper. You can't make a real parade out of paper because the first time it rains, that would be the end of your parade. So they were very clever. They made a lot of things out of metal, fiberglass, different, I think a plastic material called Centra, am I correct? And other things like that. So they were able to capture that look.
A really great job capturing the look, I think, for sure. I mean, that looks exactly like the puppet looks out on the float.
Yeah, the first time that they got him up on that bicycle and, turned him on and he started pedaling, it was so exciting. It was
A little scary.
Yeah, it was a little scary. It's like, wow, it was really cool. It was very fun. Actually, the Mary Poppins float is my favorite. Is it your favorite?
Of course, it's my favorite. Sure it is.
Is it your favorite?
No.
I don't know. I never knew which one was your favorite.
I'm happy with every single thing in the parade.
I actually,
them
one of my
all.
I love Princess and the Frog. I think that's one of my favorites.
I do too. That's my favorite.
The interesting thing about this is that in a lot of the units we wanted to have sound be of course we're called Soundsational, but there's sound. But you notice on the wheel of the bicycle of this, there are balls that go up and down that we had hoped would make sound, but then the soundtrack came in so cool that we just went ahead and let them go around and round. But things like having our dancers with cymbals and the drum line and all of those wonderful sounds, I think that was very cool, Stephen.
It was fun, and there was a lot of stuff we cut too. We had jingle bells on everybody, and after a while it was like, turn it off, there's too much sound. Yeah, because you try it. There was. Even on the stomp rooms, there were big percussion things, and we ended up just taking them off because the dancers were so spectacular. It's like you didn't need it. But we really worked to get Poppins back in the park because it's such a beloved piece. And sometimes some people upstairs forget about that, and we're like, we're going to do Mary Poppins, and it's going to be the finale, and it's been a huge hit. And even Three Caballeros, bringing Three Caballeros in the park. And having those costumes were all made from scratch. Those are brand new costumes. They're now going worldwide, which is great. So we're really bringing back those characters. We're working on a new parade for Tokyo that actually are bringing back even more characters, like the Ugly Duckling, things that people haven't seen. No, what? He's a cute character. So it's really fun. So we're trying to revive a lot of the classics, because my big thing is, they go, well, kids don't know what it is. I said, well, they're going to learn, aren't they? When you put it out on the street, kids are going to go, what's that? And they'll go find out what that is. It's a Google away, I say.
But I think it's the music itself, too, that sets them apart. That we were able to get that South American flavor of Three Caballeros, the Bahia, and...
That's my favorite. That little...
You have a lot of
That's my favorite
favorites.
one.
Mary Poppins was your favorite.
No, I do love, my favorite little bit of music, I think, is when Bahia comes on. It's very short, but that little Bahia, it's so great. I love that.
I think it's great. I was waiting to see if
I'm going to do the whole thing. Yeah.
We should probably mention that Mark Hammond did the music for this, and he arranged this.
Mark's a genius. He's like my favorite person. He lives in Nashville, and I call him usually once or twice a week, and we just have the best conversations as I drive to LA. And that's how we develop a lot of the soundtracks. Like, he'll be at his piano, and we'll be saying, oh, let's try this, like Step in Time. because the tempo of the parade is so fast, we came up with that step in time, step in time, step in time. Otherwise, step in, wait, was it step your knees up, step in time, it gets too fast. So we had to come up with a way to get the song in and still make it work. So we do a lot of that actually over the phone. We sing back and forth, so it's fun. But his demos are great, because there was a lot of questions about, you use that song from Hong Kong Disneyland. And actually, there was a song written for the parade called So Soundsational, and it wasn't as good. We actually went out and had 3 songs written for the parade. We chose one, we tested it, and it didn't work. So we were in the middle of working on Hong Kong, and it was such a great song, and Mark wrote it. I'm like, hey, let's try this, and let's use it in Soundsational. And we actually made it faster than the original. So it's really fun.
This is actually the fastest tempo, I think, for any parade we've ever done.
Yeah.
I really think it is. And choreographically, kind of a challenge for our choreographers. Josh Horner from Australia, who was a judge on Dancing with the Stars down there, and Tracy Hallis, one of our choreographers here at the park, are brilliant, and so pleased that we had them. But they had their work cut out for them, and I think they did a really, really great job. So, how'd you guys get your start here? How did you?
You started first.
Mine's a long story. No, I started here in 1981. I met a wonderful gentleman named Claire Graham, and Claire was the head of the art department at Disneyland. And I truly was like right out of high school, came in with this cute portfolio and said, I want to work here. And he hired me, and really it really is the mailroom story. I was making models for the '84 Olympics and some stuff for Epcot, and we used to tour together. We ended up doing tours. We used to go on these target market tours for a long time. But I always had this passion to create. I kept writing little shows going, we should do this, we should do that. And it took quite a while, actually. It took almost 15 years before I ever got to really do a show. So finally going from model maker to art director to senior art director, I finally became a show director, and so the first thing we did Small World Holiday, which was a fun thing. And it was great because no one was watching us. We just kind of went in and did this thing, and it was an experiment, and then it became this big deal. And from there, I did Believe in Holiday, or Believe, There's Magic in the Stars. And then things really took off because we really kind of reinvented fireworks, and then we did the holiday show, and then we did How to Imagine Holiday, and so it just kept going, and it's been a whirlwind thing. And then eventually Ann Hamburger, who took over entertainment, asked me to come work at Imagineering, and then it got really complicated because I started to work around the world, which has been great, but it's very tiring at the same time. We were just in Paris, having a good time in Paris.
Yeah, there's that little show next door. What's it called?
Oh, the water show. That show was terrifying, by the way. Everyone goes, oh, how was that? I go, it was terrifying. Night after night after night, really playing with water to see what water could do, and having a lot of pressure on that show because they basically was the relaunch of that park. And it had to say, this is going to be the new California Adventure. And it's actually worked very well. Surprises coming, so make sure you come out this holiday. And Kevin, you?
Well, it's funny because I've actually never heard you tell your story, and it's very similar to mine, as you know. Because I started also in the art department with Claire Graham, and Stephen, you were like my first supervisor there. Do you remember?
I do remember. We used to have roller skates.
Oh, we had so much fun. It was great. Our building is gone. It's now condos. That's all. It is, yeah. But that's okay. Things change. But anyway, I also built models for a lot of different shows and things, and then I got to contribute designs to a lot of things, like Mardi Gras Parade and Lion King Parade, and I was trying to get them to clap for all my credits.
He's fantastic.
And anyway, but at the end of, toward the end of the 90s, I ended up transferring up to consumer products, and Jody followed as well, and we both started doing a lot of merchandise and all that kind of stuff, collectibles and things. But here and there, we would come back and visit and do projects. Jody got to design the Pixar Play Parade over at DCA with Steven. And then, and here we are.
Yeah, I drug them back because they had gone so far down a path. I'm like, you're sick of making merchandise. Come back and play. Make something big. Oh, look, they were doing these tiny figurines. Every time I'd see them, I go, what are you doing? They're like, we're painting these tiny things. Remember the miniatures?
Yeah. Well, it was funny because when we used to work, designing parades and Fantasmic and all that stuff, it was huge. And then we went directly to doing tiny little, figurines this big.
Thimble people.
Yeah. You know what? The basics of the general rules of design are the same though. Designing three-dimensional things. Except you just don't have Cal Loesch saying you got to have handrails and you've got to have sight lines and all this stuff. It's just a snow globe. It's okay.
I love it. Going from Party Gras to miniatures. That's a huge thing. Steve, we found out the last time we were here that we worked on Party Gras together, and we didn't even know it.
Really? I knew you guys did.
You're all
I
seeing
could have
all
told you
knowing.
that.
I had no idea.
Me either.
Well, John directed Party Gras.
It was fun. It was a fun thing. Yeah. Actually, Steven's been kind of a mentor to me lately. You have. We're
partners. What a mentor.
Oh my gosh. 50th anniversary parade of dreams we worked on together. And then Steven says, I'm working on this fireworks show. It's called Magical, and you want to help? So I finally got to learn how to do fireworks. He was like the firework king, and it was like, okay, show me everything you know. Screams and
And now I've saved the best for last. The Halloween Scream Along. You're all invited to scream like you're trying to wake the dead. Ha! Come on, Zero! We'll take flight to new heights.
Because passing on, I guess it is mentoring a little bit, but John is a fantastic director, and to have help has been fantastic, especially when we were in the middle of World of Color. There were so many things that the resort wanted, and so John really was kind of a saving grace for that.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.